Continuing with my summer solo travel series, this time we're talking about my stay in New York. I wrapped things up at one of my favorite New York hotels, the Hotel 50 Bowery. My first stop on this Asia trip is Taipei with a quick layover in Hong Kong. I am here with James at the Pier Lounge in the Hong Kong airport. But before I go there, I had one mission: to visit as many airport lounges as I could. From the Delta Sky Club in Miami to LaGuardia, all the way to JFK, where I tried to hit the Chase Lounge, the Capital One Lounge, and the American Airlines Soho Lounge, and of course, the Amex Centurion Lounge. So let's see how many lounges I actually made it to and which one ended up being my favorite. First lounge was the Delta Sky Club in Miami. This one is located in Concourse H on level 2 after security. I was able to access this lounge using my American Express Platinum card. This card gives you 10 visits per year as long as you are flying Delta on that same day. Now here is a key pro tip. Any entries made within a 24-hour window, for example, I started in Miami and when I land in New York, those 2 visits only count as one of the 10. This lounge has been recently remodeled and it felt like it was twice the size as it was before. I really love the sleek color palette with the greens and the golds. There are tons of seating options, lots of quiet zones and places to work, and lots of open space just to unwind. The runway views are limited, but I enjoy seeing the renovated terminal below. That gives the lounge a sense of place even when the runway views are restricted. It was early in the morning when I was there, so the place was practically empty. Now, to be honest, those early morning flights can be a bit of a gamble. On one hand, you have fewer delays and you get a fresh start. But on the other hand, that 5 a.m. wake-up call is no joke. As I was leaving the lounge, I noticed that the staff was greeting people as they came off the elevator and wishing folks a safe flight as they were leaving. It's always these little things that make the difference on a travel day. So I'm leaving from Miami, heading to New York, going to Hong Kong, Taipei, and eventually ending up in Vietnam and Cambodia to visit the world-renowned Angkor Wat. Then after that, circling back through Hanoi, heading back to Taipei, through LAX and heading back home right in time for school. Now I've tested the waters on a solo trip before. Last year summer, spent a few days in Doha and headed to Tokyo for the first time by myself. And most recently, early this summer, I spent a few nights in Croatia, Serbia, and Frankfurt at the end of a trip with my son and his friends. But this time is the longest I'll be spending by myself and doing brand new countries. I'm very excited and I cannot wait to take you on this amazing experience. This is something I've dreamed of for a long time and I'm so glad I'm finally getting to do it. I chose to fly Delta because I get access to the Delta Sky Club. And in Miami, it's usually a little bit less crowded than the Centurion Lounge. Second, Delta lets me access their lounges on arrival, which isn't something most airlines offer. I went to the Delta Sky Club in Miami before leaving and had breakfast. And now that I'm in LaGuardia, I'm going back to their Delta Sky Club here to have breakfast number 2. Good morning from New York. Had a wonderful evening yesterday with some great friends. My friend Glenn from Salis, and I finally got to meet Marianne, the points expert. She's amazing. She's actually the reason I'm in New York. If you're on Instagram and you're into traveling and points and miles, make sure to go check out Marianne's page. My friend Glenn has a run club. We're gonna check it out at Central Park today before heading to the airport.
My dreams, write them down. Write down your dreams. Write down your dreams. Don't forget to write down your dreams. More silence. More silence. And now, it's time to go. My journey to where I'm going is steady and still silent. The silence starts to break. I start to sing to myself and gauge how I feel. I put my clothes on.
So I just came back from my run with Glenn. What an amazing coach. He really pushed me today faster than I wanted to go. But nevertheless, run's done and I'm packing up to go to the airport. I don't know why, I'm always rushing, but I'm rushing, trying to put some stuff together to get to the airport so we can have maximum lounge time. So the goal is to be able to go to 3 different lounges. I want to go to the Chase Lounge, I want to go to the American Express Lounge, maybe squeeze in some time at the Capital One Lounge. No idea, but we're gonna try to see if that happens. So let me finish packing up and I'll take you with me to the airport. Hopefully we can lounge hop to all 3 of these lounges. So while I'm putting on my stuff and getting ready, I did order some food. The Bowery doesn't have its own restaurant. So for Globalists, breakfast is included, but it comes from a local restaurant not too far from here, just around the corner. And you get a $25 credit per person for breakfast. So usually it would be 4 of us, so we would get a $100 credit for breakfast. So this time I booked a room for 2 people and I got a credit of $50. Now, this is a Nicole's travel tip. I usually try to book at least 2 people in the room, even if I'm traveling solo. One is for security reasons. I really don't want people to know that I'm traveling alone, so I would book 2 people. Just an FYI, just a safety precaution. Now with that, as Globalists, I get breakfast credits for 2 people. So since there's only me here, what I did is I offered one of the front desk staff the option to get my second breakfast. And some might be okay with it, some might not. Now you can do that if you want to. Sometimes I add a child, and if it's a breakfast restaurant like at a Regency, I would see someone sitting by themselves and say, hey, would you like me to pay for your breakfast, and attach their breakfast to my room. I just feel like that's a way to give back. If Hyatt is giving me this credit, I want to maximize it and use it, and why not share it with somebody else? So there's your tip. Get as maximum breakfast credit as you can, share it with someone, and just basically pay it forward. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to get to the airport. I can take the subway, or I can do something called Revel, which is like a ride share, or there is this Uber shuttle option, which you basically meet at a certain place and the Uber shuttle will pick you and a bunch of other people up and take you to the airport. Subway is the cheapest, but that means I have to lug my suitcase through the streets of New York. And it's supposed to be one of the hottest days today, like 90 something. Now, with Revel, I did get a 50% coupon, so it might not be that expensive. So I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know how I get to the airport. So I did decide to take the train because, as usual, I don't plan ahead. And in order to take the shuttle, you have to plan ahead. There isn't a shuttle running every 10, 15 minutes. It's more like every half an hour, every 45 minutes. And I would have had to walk, take the train to get to the shuttle pickup. So I just decided I was going to walk and take the train all the way to the airport. It's only going to cost me $7.14, so not a bad deal.
You say slow down. I don't like to move too fast. It drowns the truth with things that are not real, and I really want us to be real with love, love that lasts. In the past, I messed up, gave too much. What is it with time? Why can't we unwind? And all the hurt we deal with, I wanna leave my cares behind. And now that time has passed, I see why we are lonely. Ooh, should've let me speed it up. You could've had more of me. And now that time has passed, I see why we were lonely. Should've let me speed it up. You could've had more of me. And now that time has passed, I see why we were lonely.
Made it to the Jamaica Air train station. The train comes roughly about every 6 minutes, and it's about $4.25 to get on this train. So in total, from my hotel to here, it's about $7 cheaper and more convenient than taking the Uber shuttle. See, I got a little friend in the back. It was a little bit weird, but I had this guy following me. I made like 2 or 3 U-turns, and every U-turn I made, he was right behind me. So when I finally approached him, I was like, "Do we have a problem, sir? Do you need something?" He's like, "No." So it's like, "I'm gonna stand over here. You can stay over there." I think he stopped following me, but I'm gonna be on the lookout. So this guy right here with the brown paper bag, I'm watching out for him because apparently he's watching out for me. Some dude was following me in the air train, and I had to find someone to say, "Hey, sir, could you do me a favor? Can you keep an eye out? Because this guy over here is following me." And every time I switch tracks or trains or whatever that thing's called, switch cabins, he would follow me through all the cabins. But luckily, when I got off here, he didn't follow me. So that's a win. Terminal 4 to try to see if I can get into the Amex Lounge and the Chase Lounge before heading back to Terminal 8 for my flight. So it's going to be like a quick in and out. We won't have a full review of the lounge, but I will bring you some of the key parts about the lounge. Having TSA PreCheck makes traveling so much smoother. If you don't have it yet, there's several cards like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the Amex Platinum, and the Capital One Venture X that will cover the fee. Terminal 4 is home to the Chase Sapphire Lounge, the Amex Centurion Lounge, and the brand new Capital One Lounge. Having TSA PreCheck makes this transition so easy because my flight is out of a completely different terminal and I have to clear security one more time. One of my favorite parts of this whole travel journey thing is being able to visit the lounges. And here at JFK, 2 of the lounges are right next to each other and they're right after security. That makes it easy to lounge hop. So I think I'm going to be able to check them both out for you. The Sapphire Lounge is right there, and then the Centurion Lounge is right next to it. The Centurion Lounge was first on my list, and when I got there, there was absolutely no line. Looks like the lounge gods were on my side. Ever since I got my Amex Platinum card, visiting the Centurion Lounge at JFK has always been on my list. especially because I heard there is a hidden speakeasy inside. If you don't know, a speakeasy is a tucked away bar with major old school vibes. Think like low lighting, vintage cocktails, and exclusivity. Stick around because I'm going to take you inside and show you exactly what makes this one special. As soon as I turned the corner of the lounge, I was like, wow, this is nice. The first thing you see is a beautiful little boutique cafe called the Blue Roast. This kind of little detail really set the tone for this lounge. They have crafted coffees, sandwiches, and desserts. The vibe almost reminded me of the grab and go section that you find in the Capital One Lounge, but with a little twist. I decided to start my morning with a green smoothie, and it was refreshing. Definitely the perfect kickoff to a long travel day. So I opted for the kale ginger mango smoothie. It's pretty good. Not sure if it's freshly made when I ordered it. Tastes like it is, but I love that it's not in that big of a glass. So you can test it out, get another one. I didn't know they have this little roasting place in here. This is a very good addition. I feel like having this little coffee section in here totally raises the bar for American Express. It makes it seem more along the lines of Capital One, just to have this very intimate space here. As I sipped my green juice and looked around this cafe, I realized that this lounge experience was going to be different. So after leaving the coffee bar up front, I walked into the main part of the lounge. It immediately reminded me of the Miami Centurion Lounge. Just like the Miami Lounge, there is a long corridor that runs along the windows, perfectly designed to maximize the runway views. The whole space is filled with light, and you can literally watch all the planes go by outside. I even caught a glimpse of the Emirates A380, and hopefully one day I can fly on it. As I made my way down the corridor, I passed the buffet area right next to the bar. At the time I arrived, they were serving lunch. And yes, the bar was open, which I can appreciate. Every Centurion Lounge has its own signature cocktail inspired by the location, so be on the lookout for that. There's plenty of seating throughout, from cozy nooks to communal spaces, and I love that there's flight info boards so you can keep track of your departure. They won't be making any boarding announcements here, so you definitely want to keep an eye on your flight. So I'm gonna take the elevator down to the third floor. This is where the speakeasy is, and this is what I'm most interested in seeing. Before I get to my favorite part, I wanted to check out the seating area downstairs. There is a special section just for Centurion card holders. It's intimate and quiet, but there are no window views. Personally, if I had a Centurion card, I would choose to sit next to the window. The one thing I didn't see, and maybe you can tell me in the comments if I missed it, were the private phone booths or the small little work pods. I always like having a space where I can quickly jump on a call or take a meeting without feeling like I'm bothering anyone. What surprised me the most was that this lounge wasn't crowded at all. After all, this is JFK. It's usually packed, but it felt calm, relaxed, and easy to move around. The moment I was most excited for. This is where I can find the secret speakeasy. And yes, it's real. As I approach the entrance of the 1850 speakeasy, tucked away in the back of the Amex Centurion Lounge, right away you feel a shift in the mood. It's like stepping out of the airport and into a completely different era. The whole space is styled after the Prohibition era speakeasies, with low lighting, rich wood paneling, brass, and dark metals. Imagine the bars you would see in the 1920s. The design pulls you into this hidden bar mystery where you feel like you're discovering something exclusive. And it doesn't feel like an airport lounge anymore. It feels like a hidden cocktail club in the city. The drink menu is special, where you can find cocktails that are not available at the main bar. And everyone talks about the espresso martini. Just a quick side note, I had the opportunity to visit the American Airlines Chelsea Lounge here in JFK. And the bartender there told me that her espresso martini definitely beats the famous one here at the Centurion Lounge. Now, if you want to see a full review of the Chelsea Lounge, comment below and I'll be happy to make that video for you. Now back to the Centurion Lounge. Now, I have to test out the espresso martini here to find out if what she's saying is actually true. I love that the bartender gave a little bit of extra attention to detail by adding some espresso powder on top along with the coffee beans. Now, just for a moment, while sitting in and taking in the beauty of this speakeasy, you forget that you're in an airport. And I remember why I paid $695 for this credit card. Welcome to the Speakeasy at the Amex Centurion Lounge in JFK. This place is an absolutely unique spot. If you have access to this lounge, definitely come downstairs and check out the Speakeasy. It's super cool and just a great place to chill, relax, and get a drink. And since you have access to your American Express Platinum and you're already paying that ridiculous fee, you might as well take advantage of something like this. Here I got the famous espresso martini and it is really good. These cocktails are something you'd pay $18, $19, $20 for. To have that included in your American Express card is something you definitely want to take advantage of. I've changed my tone and the lychee martini is definitely what you should get. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's got a lychee in there. It's refreshing. Perfect. Definitely get this one. Highly recommend. What a super cool experience, that speakeasy in the Amex Lounge. Absolutely love it. That was great. That was definitely worth my time. And if you have the time to do it, I suggest you do. I love this lounge. I can't wait to come back. It actually reminds me of the Centurion Lounge in Atlanta. Both have fresh, updated designs with something extra special that stands out. Here at the JFK Lounge, it's a speakeasy. In Atlanta, it's the whiskey bar and the outdoor patio. I really think that Amex is onto something by adding these signature spaces to each of the lounges. It gives travelers a reason to want to come back. Now that I've wrapped up my time here, I'm headed next door to the Chase Sapphire Lounge. The Chase Sapphire Lounge is just next door to the Amex Centurion Lounge. This lounge operates in a partnership with Etihad Airways. From the moment you step in, you can feel the elevated living room vibe. Most people say that this lounge is a big step above your typical credit card lounge. Just walking in, you can see that it's full of natural light, it has a modern design, and I hear the food and drinks are also great. The lounge has expansive runway views through the large windows, and there's also a lot of seating facing the runway. The black and gold accents everywhere give you that upscale hotel lobby feel. There are private workstations if you need to take a call or just answer a few emails. There's even a reflection room, which I think is a really nice touch. One signature feature I find in the Chase Sapphire lounges is their full fireplace. It really drives home the idea of a relaxed but elevated living room, rather than just a waiting area in an airport. When it comes to the food here at the lounge, you have two solid options. First, there's the buffet area, and right away I noticed that these dishes have a Middle Eastern twist, which makes sense with the Etihad partnership. The flavors are bold, colorful, and is a nice change from the usual lounge offerings. If you'd rather something prepared just for you, you can scan the QR code at your seat and order something from the a la carte menu. You can even order drinks from the bar using the QR code. It's a really convenient setup that makes the space feel more like a boutique cafe or a private club rather than an airport lounge. You can tell that Chase put thought into creating a space that feels calm, stylish, and a little bit indulgent, which is exactly what I need before my long flight. I feel like the Chase Sapphire Lounge is like the younger brother who has taken its time to establish itself and is now here to show the older brother, the Amex Lounge, how things are being done. Newly renovated, elevated, and just quietly being a little better than its predecessor. So the space here is not as crowded, and the black and the gold details makes it feel ultra modern, very New York style. The food, even though there's a buffet, you do have the option to get some small plated meals a la carte, and the bar has some specialty cocktails that you can order from the QR code, which I think is very helpful so you don't have to rush to get to the bar. You don't have to wait in line standing at the bar. They will bring the cocktails to you. Amex is going to have to do a better job of updating their system so they can offer that service. It also helps with crowding at the bar, right? If everyone can stay in their seats and order drinks, then that makes it easier for people to sit at the bar and everyone's in their own space while enjoying the amenities that are available at the lounge. So I'm not super hungry, but I do want to save my appetite for the flight. I did get the Moroccan beef stew and the salmon in lobster sauce. That just sounds decadent and indulgent. And some focaccia bread. Focaccia? I'm not sure how to say that. It's good. If I could critique it a little bit, it would be that for some reason, it's not hot. So it's on a heated plate over there, but it's not as hot as it needs to be. But it is definitely good. I would suggest getting the lemon and lobster sauce. Lemon. What the hell is a lemon? I would suggest getting the salmon in lobster sauce and the Moroccan beef stew. Those two are really good. I have to say, I really, really love the Chase Sapphire lounges. They're one of the main reasons I held on to my Chase Sapphire Reserve card. To access these lounges, you will need to have a Chase Sapphire Reserve, a JP Chase Morgan card, or a Ritz Carlton credit card. Those cards give you unlimited access for yourself and two guests. Now, if you have a Priority Pass Select membership through another credit card, you can get one complimentary visit per year. So if you're going to switch terminals in JFK, you have to get on the air train. And the air train is pre-security. So every time you switch from one terminal to the next, you have to go back through security. So make sure you give yourself enough time. And this is where TSA PreCheck would come in handy because it's going to save you time getting in and out of security between the terminals. If you're switching between terminals and you're getting on the air train, make sure you get on the train that says to all terminals because the other train is going to take you back to Queens to head you towards the city. With two lounges down, I had a little bit of time left, and I'm leaving the secure area in Terminal 4 to head on the air train to get to Terminal 8. I was in a bit of a rush, but I knew I had enough time to sneak in one more lounge. Now, this space instantly feels exclusive. It's quiet, sophisticated, and surprisingly empty, which is rare for JFK. The first thing I noticed is how spotless everything was. The buffet was fresh, the bar area was immaculate, even the bathrooms were gleaming. The color palette here carries the same green and gold theme that I noticed in the Delta Sky Club. It was warm, classy, and with a touch of glam. The vibe? Think high-end country club room, or maybe the lounge of a luxury golf resort. Intimate but elegant. And even though I only had about 20 minutes to explore, something about this place really stuck with me. Maybe it was the calm before the long international journey, or maybe it was the staff that made me feel welcome, even though I wasn't staying long. I love coming to the airport and meeting new people. Oh, God, sir. I like it when people walk in. It just makes it more authentic. Go ahead. Give me your strut. Give me your best strut. Work it. Work it. Okay. I am going to give you the quickest tour of this lounge because my flight starts aboard in 10 minutes and I was trying to hit 3 lounges before flight and I ran out of time. Okay, so there is a lot of seating here. It's a pretty open lounge and you do have runway views. The great thing about here is that there are lots of seating options, and I love the little wood desk. It looks like it's from reclaimed wood, and all the desks are like free-formed. All right, let me take you to the buffet quickly before we leave. I mean, I like this lounge. It is definitely more elevated than all the American Airlines lounges, all the Admirals Club you're going to see. The buffet is neatly kept. The food is beautifully presented, and there's no mess. And the great thing about coming at this time is rarely anyone's here. I would take advantage of the food, but I'm trying to save my appetite for when I go on the flight. But this pork belly looks amazing. Pineapple glazed chicken. Let me see how much time I have. I might be able to squeeze in a little piece before I go. I have to try it. All right, let me get a...
Doha and Hong Kong for the lounge.
I'm going to Hong Kong now.
I'm going to Hong Kong.
Okay, well, let's see you then.
The lounge there, multiple lounges. It's like
Yes, I heard. I've been doing my research. So, yes, I'm excited. I only got time to try 2 dishes. I went with the pork belly and the pineapple chicken. Should get some water. I'm going to get some water to go. But first, let's try this pineapple chicken. You see how I don't have any words? That pineapple chicken is fire. That pineapple chicken. Okay, this is the pork belly. Look. This. Don't leave this lounge without getting it. Definitely don't. I'm going to challenge myself to see if I find anything on the flight that's as good as these 2 things. I got 8 minutes to boarding. Sorry, too good. Hopefully, I've given you enough detail about this lounge. I'm sorry, I'm rushing, but I try to get 3 lounges so you guys could see everything. Heading to the gate, and I'll see you on board. Made it to the gate on time, and the excitement is building. I can't believe I'm about to go to Hong Kong and Taipei. And to top it off, I'm flying in business class on Cathay Pacific. That is pretty life-changing. I hope to bring you the best of Cathay Pacific on my way to Hong Kong.